Oil tanker attacked after paying crypto for fake Hormuz, safe passage. The Sanmar Herald's plea over the radio, reported by CryptoSlate on April 21, 2026, describes a new layer of risk in the Strait of Hormuz. Crews paying crypto to scammers posing as Iranian authorities, receiving fake clearance codes, then getting attacked anyway. The tanker transmitted a distress call citing paid safe passage that turned out to be worthless. By the time the attack began, the wallet that received the funds was already emptied and moved. The story sits at the intersection of two real trends. The Hormuz conflict has pulled crypto into real-world maritime payments, and scammers have noticed. How the clearance scam works. The pattern is straightforward. A crew receives an unsolicited contact, sometimes through a broker or shipping desk, sometimes directly over satellite messaging, offering guaranteed passage for a fixed crypto fee. The contact presents Farsi language paperwork, a clearance code, and a wallet address on Tron or Bitcoin. The crew pays. A signed certificate arrives. They transit anyway, either because their cargo cannot wait or because they believe the clearance is real. In the Sanmar Herald's case, the attack came before the ship reached the narrowest section of the strait. Two details make this specific scam hard to unwind. First, the scammers mirror the format of genuine Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps communications closely enough that a non-native reader cannot tell the difference. Second, the payments route through USDT on Tron, where addresses can be rotated in minutes, and stablecoin movement clears before anyone realizes the paperwork is fake. SpendNode has covered the legitimate side of this story as well. Iran has quoted Bitcoin for Hormuz oil tolls, with stablecoins handling settlement. The fraud only works because the real thing exists, the gap between real tolls and fake ones. Iran's official crypto toll program runs through known intermediaries with verifiable on-chain receipts. Payments are acknowledged publicly, sometimes through Telegram channels tied to maritime brokers, and the Revolutionary Guard Corps has its own signaling procedures. The scam version copies the surface but not the verification. A crew in the middle of the night, with insurance underwriters pushing for a decision and cargo owners pushing harder, rarely has the time or the Persian-speaking legal counsel to tell the two apart. That asymmetry is what the fraud relies on. One shipping security analyst told CryptoSlate the operation has the characteristics of a loosely coordinated network rather than a single actor, with wallets being spun up and retired faster than investigators can chain trace them. Why crypto is the payment method? The scammers could, in theory, demand wire transfers. They do not. Stablecoin payments on Tron clear in under a minute and are final. A correspondent banking wire through Dubai or Hong Kong would leave a reversible trail and sanctions exposure for any bank that handled it. USDT on Tron avoids both problems for the recipient. That same finality is the payer's problem. Once the funds move, there is no chargeback, no arbitration, and no realistic recovery path. Law enforcement cooperation across Iranian, Omani, and international jurisdictions in the middle of an active conflict is effectively zero. The Sanmar Herald's operators are reportedly working with a private chain analytics firm to trace the wallet, but the tracing is academic unless the funds eventually hit a regulated exchange where they can be frozen. Maritime insurance catches up. Hull insurers have spent the last 3 weeks rewriting Hormuz riders. Several London market syndicates are now explicitly excluding losses tied to unauthorized or fraudulent third-party transit payments, which means a ship that pays a scam toll and gets hit is on its own for the cargo value. This shifts the cost-benefit for captains. Before these clauses, paying a $200,000 crypto toll to hedge against a $60 million vessel loss was an easy call. Now the toll becomes a pure bet, with no insurance cushion if the clearance turns out to be fake. As of April 21, 2026, Bitcoin trades at $7,590 and held steady through the morning's Hormuz headlines, suggesting markets are pricing conflict continuation rather than escalation. The Fear and Greed Index sits at 55, neutral.